Hello, welcome to 5-1 least common multiple. Today our goal is that we will be able to find the least common multiple of a group of numbers, and we'll even go through some examples of when would I need to use this. And then we're going to learn two different methods to find the least common multiple of a group of numbers. As always, there's usually a better way to do it, but we'll talk about two ways. Let's get started. All right, so here's a good example of when we would need to use least common multiple in our real life. Juice comes in packs of 6, and granola bars come in packs of 8. If there are 24 players, what is the least number of packs needed so that each player has a drink and a granola bar and there are none left over? All right, so if we think about this, and we think about multiples being, counting by, kind of. I could take 6, and I would do 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, so those are multiples. Now let's do multiples of 8. Now this is really our first method, and it's making a list. So if I look at 8, I could do 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Okay, now when we think about the least common multiple, again, least would be the smallest number that they have in common. Now if I look 6, 8, nope, 12, nope, 18, 24. Hey, look at that. They both have 24, and it is the first multiple that they have in common, so it would be the least. So our least common multiple would be 24. What is the least number of packs needed so that each player has a drink and a granola bar? So how many packs of juice? We would have to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 packs of juice. And then we would have to buy 1, 2, 3 packs of granola bars. And there is our answer. We can put a box around that. And in this case, the answer is not our least common multiple, but the least common multiple helped us find the answer. So let's look deeper into least common multiples. All right, so now this is our first strategy, make a list. Now that would go on my notes. I would write LCM, make a list. So if I did 3, 5, and 6, and I did multiples. Now last time we were talking greatest common factor. We said what two numbers multiply to make 3, what two numbers multiply to make 5 or 6. But in this case, we're finding multiples. So for 3, I would do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and so on. We might need to go farther. That's why the list is kind of not very efficient, because if we had a bigger number and a smaller number like 3, it would take us a long time to find the least common multiple. But again, this is a strategy you could use if they're small numbers like the ones we have. For 5, I would do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, I'm going to have to go higher, 30, 35, 40, 45, okay, I'll stop there. For 6, I would do 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and so on. But if I look at my 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, well, 12 are 6 and 3, but 5 doesn't have a 12. So that doesn't count. 15, well, 3 and 5 both have a 15, but 6 doesn't. Okay, 18, again, 3 and 6 have an 18. 21, no. 24, nope. 27. I'm going to have to go one more, I think, on my 3, because I know the next 3 would be 30, and we have a 30, 30, 30. So it has to be one that they all have in common with each other, and that number would be 30. So in this case, the least common multiple of 3, 5, and 6 is 30. All right, so again, the list is not very efficient. I'm going to show you the way to do prime factorization. Again, it's coming back to haunt us. Prime factorization for finding least common multiples. So let's look at that next. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I know the prime factorization of 8 is 4 times 2. 4 I can break down into 2 times 2. So for 8, I have 2 times 2 times 2. That's what I have for number 8. All right, so now for number 12, I know that is 3 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. So for 12, now this is where we have to pay very close attention. Again, make sure you write this into your notebook. This would be very helpful on the test. Very helpful to remember. So 12 would be 3 times 2 times 2. So I'm going to write my 2's first, because these 2 line up, and these 2 line up. There's not another 2, so I'm going to leave a space there, and then I'm going to multiply by 3 over here. So to find my least common multiple, I need to multiply 2 by 2 by 2 by 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24. So our least common multiple is 24. Now let's look at that again. As you can see, there are 2 2's here, but because they match up, we're only going to write 1 down. Again, these 2's match up, so we're only going to write 1 down. Then we're left with a 2 and a 3 left over, so we have to multiply those 2 as well. Okay, so let's look at that again for a different problem. All right, so now things are going to get a little bit trickier here. Now we have 3 numbers. So first I'm going to prime factorize my numbers. 12, I'm going to prime factorize to 3 times 4. 4, I can do 2 times 2. 10, I'm going to prime factorize to 2 times 5, and that would be prime numbers. And then 15, I'm going to prime factorize into 3 times 5. Again, that was pretty easy. So now when we go to write these down, this is where we're going to get a little bit trickier. We need to write least to greatest. So first I'll start with 12 here. And I'd do my 2's first. Then I would bring my 3 down. Okay, again, I organize them least to greatest, just like when we write prime factorization. When we write our answers, least to greatest, we'll do that here too. And then for 10, I have a 2, so I'm going to write that under my first 2. Then I have a 5. Now that's a new number, so that's going to go way over here. And then lastly, I'll do 15. Now I have a 3. Look at, I can write it right under this 3. And then I can write the 5 under this 5. They match up. So now I can bring my arrows in. I'll bring down my 2. Bring down my 2. Bring down my 3. And my 5. Okay, so 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 4 is 60. So in this case, our least common multiple is 60. So again, when we do the prime factorization, this is really a great way to know you found the right answer, and it doesn't take as much time as listing in some cases. The last problem that we did, it took us a while when we had a number 3. If the numbers were close to each other, it wouldn't take too long. But just like our previous problem, it could take a while. So I'd like to definitely see you practicing doing the prime factorization route tomorrow. If you have any questions, please make sure to write them down, and I would love to help you tomorrow. Anyways, thank you for watching.